Watchers, and welcome to what I hope is my final webisode of my story. Because I've pretty much said everything that I want to say that's led me up to this point. From here on out, you'll just get your yearly vlog on my I Love Leo season. So, my self-love season. But, yeah, because, this series it's not fully planned out. It's kind of like a fill as you go. So I don't know if this will be the last webisode, but I do hope so. There's just a few more things that I would like to talk about to wrap things up really with you guys. So I thank you guys so much for going along with me on this journey, this fictional version of my life story and everything that I've been through. All the crazy, traumatic experiences I am so beyond thankful for. The crazy childhood, I loved it. I loved growing up in it. I loved being in it. It's just whenever you tell it to other people, it sounds bad. And it gives me a little bit of victim points, and I like that. I like the victim points that I earn from my story. But, yeah. So, there are some things that I was thinking that I would leave out of my story. And through a lot of prayer and contemplation, I decided that I do need to include parts of it in my story because it was there and it was a part. Oh, goodness. So, while I was telling my story, I've changed locations twice. It took me a couple years to do this My Story series that I thought was going to be done in months. I thought that this was going to be a 2-month project, maybe 4 months. I can double the time, right? It ended up being a 4-year project, really. A 3-year project, because I started this My Story series 1 year into my mystical school series. So, and also it has been incredibly healing for me, and I feel like I couldn't have grown and come as far as I've come and get to the point where I can help you guys as much as I can. I love helping people so much. There's no way I'm not going to do it. I selfishly help people, so I'll continue to do that. But I had to take time to love and take care of myself for a while. But whenever I was telling my story and I got to the part about my aunt, I remember that time I cried, and it was really intense feelings that I felt. And I was thinking to myself after I had told that part of my story, I think it was a story of whenever I was in 5th grade, my aunt asked me if it would be okay for me to go stay the night with her over the weekend. I asked my mom. She said it was fine. My aunt picks me up the next day at school. I told my mom that, but my mom forgot and threatened her with kidnapping, and it hurt my heart so bad that my mom did that to my aunt, and that I still remember it. It's still like a traumatic thing, and it came out in my story, and I cried so much, and I was like, why am I crying so much? And I think it's because I felt like I still had some stuff to tell my aunt. There was some things that I needed to talk to her about. I know that we've talked about that one time, but I wanted to let her know how much I mean to her. And, she's still alive, but I don't go see her that often. And it did encourage me to want to go see her more, but I never did. And a year into this stuff, this is so hard. I haven't fully processed this, and that's why I was telling Spirit, I was like, that's why I don't want to put it in my story, because it's not processed yet. And Spirit's like, it's not supposed to be processed yet when you tell it. And So, we all know that the historic times of COVID happened during while I was in my metaphysical school and everything, and everybody was getting sick. And I did too. If you go back and look at my 40 days of joy, the first 10 days I was sick with that. And then, everything after that is the after effects of me getting sick. I did, whenever I was doing my story, I did try to make an effort to go see them more, but then the COVID times happened and it really did scare me, and I acted on fear, and I regret that. And I will teach and I will preach and I will do my best to follow my teaching and my preaching from here on out to act in love, not fear. I shouldn't have acted in fear. But my idea was, if there's a chance that I could bring the COVID to, because my aunt and my grandparents live together, if I could bring it to them, I don't want to be the one. If it gets to them, I want to know for sure that it wasn't me. And the only way to know that is to stay away from them, which, it's crazy. And we were all staying away from each other. We were all locked down. So, after the 40 days of joy, that was in the fall. And then comes the winter. And in the winter, I did not go see them for the holidays because I was afraid. And then we had the new year, and they all got sick. And my grandpa passed, my aunt passed, my grandma was with us for one more year. She got sick with it, I think twice, and she was fine, but then she finally passed. And it's really hard because I still haven't processed it. I don't know. I understand that they're okay. They're okay. And they're in a better place. But I tend to numb myself, and I kind of went into a shock state, and I froze a lot during that year where my grandpa passed and my aunt passed, and there were moments that, like, there was a moment where, I'm talking to her in the hospital, and I have this freeze response, and I don't even understand it. It's like I go outside of my body and I scream at myself, do something, say something, and let her know that you love her. I'm just like, it's crazy. I was just so numb. I was trying to do my best to not be upset for my grandma. And it was hard, and I was still, like, the thing that was helping me was, for me, what helps me is daily routines and such, and so continuing to do my metaphysical school. Like, I could hang out with my grandma and bring my laptop with me and put on some headphones and listen to a class, and if I have a assignment to do, I can find time to do it, and that was helping me stay sane. And then the next year, after I did the 40 days of joy, the next year, whenever it was time for the 40 days of self-love, I did that at my grandma's house. I would go outside in the mornings and do my meditations and do my stretches and do my recordings. I wasn't always at my grandma's house, but the days that I needed to be there, I made sure that I could be there. It's rough. I feel like all three of them love me and they support me. I do feel like my aunt understands now. I just wish that we could have had those conversations while she was still alive. I loved her so much. Meanwhile, during this time, my daughters, they're so smart. I have 3 daughters, and they're so smart, and they're so beautiful, and they're all smart in different ways, and they're all beautiful in different ways, and it's really amazing. And I have a youngest daughter who, how do I want to explain this? It's really difficult. My youngest daughter, she was getting into learning about psychology and stuff like that, and she started learning about neurodiversity, and she let me know, like, again, this is years of playing out. It was about the time that I started the metaphysical school. She let me know that I'm neurodivergent, and I know that my daughter's just like me, right? And I know that if I want to learn a subject, I'm going to learn every little detail about that subject. So if I say that I've learned something, I've learned it ad nauseum. If I haven't learned it ad nauseum and I'm in the process of learning that subject, I will make that clear to you. I'll be like, oh, I'm learning about that. That means I haven't learned every detail yet. And I know that my youngest daughter is a lot like me in that way. So whenever she tells me she learned something, I believe her, People don't believe me. I don't get that because I won't be able to. I understand that they do that. It's not that I don't get to have that people say that I know what I know, because I didn't learn my knowledge the conventional way, because I can't, because I'm not conventional. And the way that I learn is just I dive in and then I come out with, like the conventional way is like a slow process type thing, and I do it differently. But the metaphysical school, I did try to do kind of conventional way, in my deep dives too. But anyway, so when my daughter says that she learned something, I listen to her. And then she's explaining to me that, it's like autism and ADHD. And it's just a way that you think differently. And I saw this Mimi. That's what I like to call them, the Mimis. I saw a Mimi, and it talked about how people don't understand why neurodivergent people will say something. They'll be like, where'd that come from? And then the neurodivergent person will be like, well, we were talking about birds, which birds fly in the sky. And then I was thinking about how whenever they dive down, they get a worm, and the worm's deep down under the ground, and then you have to crawl, and then there's bunny rabbits, and they hop through the field, and the field has bees, and so that's how it connected to the flowers, And then they're like, what? But I'm like, oh my gosh. That is how my brain works. So I came to terms with, yeah, you're right, baby girl, I'm neurodivergent. And then she kind of pointed out how, different family members are neurodivergent too. She's like, I think I'm also neurodivergent like you, Mom. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then she, while I was taking care of my grandma, she's like, oh, look, this is where we get. And I always knew that I was like my grandma, because whenever I was younger, and I got to be like an adolescent, and I started rebelling a little bit. And I couldn't stand everything that my grandma did, like her schedules and the way that she would do certain things, and the way she couldn't let Pawpaw make the bed because the bed had to be made the right way, and things like that. And it just would get on my nerves. I'm just like that now. It's just, I need my schedules, and my husband can't make the bed, my husband can't put away our clothes, like, I'll do that because I know how to do it the right way. And, it's just like, I could either have it done my way, or I could let you do it, and I'd rather have it done my way. So, like, that's the way that I see it. If I want it done my way, I've got to do it myself. And so there's certain things I want done my way that I'm going to do myself. And so I just do that. And so, yeah, I begin to see how my grandma has it. My dad definitely is neurodiverse. And, but I wasn't looking at this means that we're autistic at all. To me, it's just like, oh, okay, we have the other the other wiring of the brain. This makes sense. It's going through the family. And I don't know. I was thinking I must be ADHD because there's ADHD and there's autism. And I was very ableist in my thinking back then. But it was, what it was doing is it was soaking in. And I tell this story because I want y'all to realize that all of our ableist family members, they're coming from a place of can't help it. They're coming from a place of I'm giving my best, I just don't quite understand yet. And some of them may never understand. And that's got to be okay too. It can be okay. But so I remember like, not this Christmas, but the last Christmas, I was like, I announced all my mental illnesses to everyone. I don't even know why, but I did. I was like, I'm BPD, and then I did therapy to get the BPD to CPTSD, and da 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 da. And I was just saying, and that's all that I am. And you know, I'm not ADHD. I'm not autistic at all. And then I came across autistic TikTok. And people think that these autistic people are claiming it for fame that they're not really getting, for a fortune that they're not getting, to take away from all the resources that autistic people don't really get. I don't quite understand it, but I do understand that autistic TikTok has been a life improver by far. Just because they give you hints and tips like of how to deal with the ADHD brain. And I realize that I am very much ADHD. My husband's very much ADHD. My middle daughter's very much ADHD. I'm also very much autistic. And I'm on the spectrum. And it's not just that because I've always thought I'm highly sensitive. It's just and there's a difference between highly sensitive and autistic and da 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 da. Because I have a lot of autistic traits that are not quite tied to the highly sensitive. Like one that I've already mentioned, the deep dive in the special interest. It's just my special interest has been religion, psychology, human interaction, and my mask. I didn't grow up with the understanding that I might be autistic. I grew up with the understanding of I better not be. My mask, it's like it's a part of me. And that's harsh. There are people in their 20s figuring out that they're autistic. I just turned 40. I didn't know until this year. But this makes everything make sense. And I wish I could go back and tell myself that it's okay, that you're different, that you're supposed to be. It doesn't mean you have to kill yourself. It doesn't mean you have to unalive yourself. Just because you feel differently and you live differently, it means you got to figure out where you belong and what accommodates you. And that's what TikTok did, was it helped me figure those things out. Meltdowns I've been having my whole life. A whole life. Could you imagine if I had love and support from any point? Because I didn't ever have love and support at any point for any of my meltdowns. Now there's autistic kids that are, some parents don't know what to do, but there are some out there that are getting the love and support they need. They're able to thrive. And that's beautiful. But yeah, it made everything make sense. I mean, even this series, I mean, it's so autistic. I'm so, neurodivergent, and so the way that I tell my story, it's not normal. It was hard for me to embrace this. I didn't want to believe that that's the case, and still to this day, I won't fully embrace it. The only reason why I say that I am is because it gives me the tools and the skills necessary to be able to finally make it in this world. It's a big part of why I'm going to be able to become who I'm going to be able to become. Understanding that, and that I have special needs. Because we're on a spectrum. You either have no empathy or you have too much empathy. I'm too much empathy. You know, I love the little spoons. Always have. I would choose to eat with the baby spoon if I could. Understanding the difference in a meltdown and a burnout, and understanding what to do just for myself. I can't rely on anyone else, but for me and myself, I can be there for me during a meltdown, and I can help prevent my burnouts so that I can be a productive member of society like I so desperately want to be able to do. But before, I was like, y'all don't see that I have there's these things holding me back that I don't realize what they are. Now I can see. It's different needs. It's different needs that I have that I can meet. And I'm so fortunate in that. I understand that. But yeah, taking my mask off and chipping that thing off it's dang nigh impossible, guys. It's like it's a part of my identity. It's scary because it's like, who am I without my mask? My mask was beaten onto me whenever I was just a toddler, and reinforced in my childhood, and reinforced in my teenagerhood, and reinforced in my early adulthood, and reinforced in my later adulthood, all the way to the mental hospital, multiple times, constantly thrown back. If they were right about the BPD, about the personality disorders and all that stuff, then why did it keep failing? This makes sense. This puts the pieces together in a way where I have a workable form. It's the only reason why I want it, and I don't really want it because it's not like I'm not gonna go to freaking a therapist. There's no reason to. Trying to meet the needs where I can is what I need to do. And with the therapist and stuff, I don't even know if they would give me the right diagnosis, and I don't want to be on no pills. And I'm not looking for disability. Not looking for that. I'm looking for an ability to be a productive member. And I think that I can now. I think that it's possible. I hope that it's possible. I'm going to keep striving to heal me and to heal what's been broken, and to continue to love me and to love where I've come from and what's possible. Like learning about the stimming. Like my grandma would always say, little girl, don't be twisting your hair, because I twist my hair all the time. It's what I do. I can't. This is my blankie. I can't let go of it. It's my security blankie. It really is. That's why I love my hair. I take good care of it because it's my security blankie. And even now, I can sit here if I get too nervous and twirl the bottom of my hair so that I can be okay. I stim. I love going to the club stim. It's great, but it's been a journey, and it's really crazy. It's really crazy because it's just now in this time of my journey that I'm coming to terms with all this, and I don't want to try to explain it to anyone. Like, I'm not trying to take resources away from anyone. I'm not trying to get disability. I'm not trying to take anything away. I'm just trying to, again, become more productive in my society. So, learning where I am on these spectrums and figuring out me and my own special needs and meeting those the best that I can, and relying on my family support system where I can't. And I'm so lucky and fortunate to have them. So, it's been a journey, It's been a journey. And another reason why I think it is autism is because, yes, this is my grandma and my dad and me. I mean, it's clear, it's obvious, it's genetic. My daughter, my oldest daughter, like, there's clear things from her childhood. Now I'm like, wow, yeah, and I don't know. I'm not trying to take from anyone, and I'm not trying to get famous with it. I don't think it's a big part of my identity. My mask is that's my identity, okay? I don't even know anymore. I'm trying to figure it out my dang self. So I just get more in touch with my heart, and I let my heart run the show. Like, today I was going to do just natural makeup. My heart was like, more glam. I was like, okay. I don't even know anymore, guys. I'm rambling on because I'm out of time, and I don't really know how to end this video. I really wanted it to be the final one, but I think it was more my autistic coming out. My mental illness. I mean, I've got to take care of this. It's my responsibility. I understand that. Whew. But we are out of time, and we'll probably have one more final one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being a part. Thank you so much for being here and listening to my whiny little part of my story. I'm sorry I got kind of whiny today. But thank you for watching to the end. You're the best. You rock. And I hope that you are blessed with lots and lots of love. That's all. Wait a minute. No, that's not all she got. She got a little bit to say just here at the end. So hold on, folks. I just want to say really, really quick, I've got an exciting opportunity to share with you. As a student and a content creator, I pour my heart and my soul into each and every video. And I absolutely love bringing you all along on my crazy adventures. But creating quality content requires a lot of time, effort, and resources. But that's where you can come in. If you enjoy my videos and want to share your support, I've set up a few ways for you to contribute and become an even more integral part of the Mystic Hillbilly community. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me to continue doing what I love most. First of all, I have a few donation options available to you. If you'd like to make a one-time contribution, you can find the links to my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal in the video descriptions. And every single donation, no matter how big or small, truly makes a difference and allows me to create even more exciting content for you all. But wait, there's more. I'm thrilled to introduce to you my Patreon membership, where for only $5.55 a month, you can gain access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content and outtakes from all my videos. As a Patreon supporter, you'll get to see all the edits and behind-the-scenes bloopers that didn't make it in the final cut. It's like having a VIP pass to the Mystic Hillbilly editing room. This is really something special for all my haters out there. As a member, you'll gain access to hours of footage of me making mistakes, doing everything wrong, and just having an all-around hilarious time. So, haters, if you ever want to see me in my most human, this is your golden opportunity. So, whether you choose to become a member or make a donation, know that your support is deeply appreciated. I genuinely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this amazing journey with me. Your positive energy and contributions mean everything to me. Before I go, I just want to take a moment to say that I pray that every blessing sent my way is multiplied and returned to the sender tenfold. May success find their way into your lives as you've brought them into mine. Thank you all so much for your support, and until next time, stay adventurous, stay curious, and always remember to keep the mystic in you alive. And now, that's all she got.